Welcome back. And today we are going to take a look at another team I've gotten from King7, and it's actually a very big brain team. As you see, I have no healer, but Kanna is on Bloodstone, which is actually the only thing that is needed to let my team basically survive the entire thing. My Cecilia is not even on Aureus or something, she's running her PvP gear, so that's more than enough. What's good about this team? At first you see, I have 3 damage dealer. Baal, not only damage but also, of course, speed slow, defense break, a lot of damage, basically no reduced damage because all of his attacks are at least 2 target hits. Mercedes, giving team attack buff. Her S2, of course, does a lot of damage. I don't know why her second S2, like when she procs it with attack buff, why it does basically less than half of its original damage. It shouldn't be, but maybe I cannot read skills. And her S1 also is not a single target, which is perfect. And then Kanna, of course, on Bloodstone also provides speed buff. Does a lot of damage, heals, everything fine. Cecilia, her S3 is basically not completely useless. I mean, you get immunity basically to not get as many poisons. Her S2 with the right EE does speed slow, 100% chance. And, well, attack break, if it is needed or not, can be debated. It's good to have at least. And her S1, if there is a speed slow, which you get from her S2 and Baal, just want to mention it again, has a 75% chance to proc defense break, which is insanely good. So with her and Baal you have no problem, hopefully no problems with debuffs unless you get Omega unlucky. And besides that, you are basically shredding down the boss thanks to having 3 DPS. Well, what I should say is, it has a very high chance actually to one-shot the boss. It's not 100% always, but it has a very high chance. Of course, if I get resisted with defense break and speed slow rather often, I don't do it. But if I get defense break and slow debuff from Baal's first S3, I have a very good chance on actually doing it. So yeah, but besides that, I would say it is probably a minimum of at least 1.5 million. Correct me if it was different for you if you tried it. But from what I've seen so far, it is definitely crazy. So yeah, thanks to King7 to that again. Please check him out. He does new player and mid-game player guides on his channel. I've linked it in the description. So yeah, let's take a look at my units. As you see, my Cecilia, well, she's on my PvP setup, so I haven't changed anything on her. Well, she's on counter, which is nice, but it's not necessary. Just get enough effectiveness. She's basically missing 5%, but it's fine. A lot of defense, a lot of HP. Pretty good. If your team actually has trouble surviving, just give her Aureus. I hope it works better. Please don't quote me on that. Maybe your team gets overloaded on damage, then it actually kills Cecilia, but that shouldn't, I just say shouldn't be the case with Bloodstone on Kanna. My Kanna, well, I've basically nerfed her, but she's still good enough, I suppose. Just make her fast, a little bit of effectiveness to help at least removing the attack buff. Just to have your team a little bit more safe, but it doesn't matter too much because she's getting, well, in my case, 45% more effectiveness from a passive, and she has some start-up effectiveness from Awakening, so it's fine. Bloodstone is needed if you have no healer, that's for sure. So yeah, that's basically about her. Mercedes, her own artifact. Mine is on like a PvP setup, so I had to give her 100% crit rate. If you don't use her in PvP, you can run her on 85 again. Maybe more DPS stats instead of a little bit of tankiness that I have there, and it's even better. Also, my Mercedes isn't maxed, so she could do much more damage. Like I said, I don't know why her proc does less than 50% of her original damage, so I don't know, but yeah. And of course, Baal Sezan. Give him enough effectiveness, make him actually the fastest one in your team so that he can provide basically debuffs before anything else moves. Give him as much damage as possible, I know. Well, technically he doesn't have 100% crit rate, but since my Kanna is on team imprint and he's technically missing a reforge, it's fine. Give him Etika Scepter and you're good to go. Yeah, it's a GG. And that's about it. Thank you very much to King7 for this team again. It is amazing. So I hope you enjoyed it and see ya.